Welcome to the Washdown podcast, episode number 154. And today's guest is Raedell Counce. And Ray is a firefighter and a business owner. And we had a great time shooting this episode. I hope you enjoy it. We talked about a lot of stuff. So here you go, episode 154 with Raedell Counce.
All crews stand by for emergency traffic. All crews stand by for emergency traffic.
That's the unit with the mayday. Go ahead with your traffic.
What it is, people have lives, and
yeah, it's true. But you gotta be somewhat professional, and and what you're doing. So gotta give it courtesy.
Yeah, well, and that's we try to make this podcast as professional as possible,
right.
But in the grand scheme of things, we're firefighters.
Exactly.
So
exactly. It's funny because I'm glad you bring it up. So do you guys have contracts? Does everybody have a contract now? Because I heard Moran had a shoe deal, and it was like a raw end of the deal and a shoe deal.
Fuck.
Like,
no, maybe that's what we should do next, Chris, is I should draft up some contracts, and then I'll 1099 you guys.
What's 0% is zero? Or 22% is zero? I think we should get an Adidas contract.
Ooh.
I mean, if you can make that happen.
Mahomes contract. There it is.
I mean, Ray, you're the business guy.
I mean, I got my hands on a lot of different things.
I mean,
but
we're always looking for investors.
Me too.
I'm broke. That's why I'm doing the podcast for free.
And I am broke because I'm doing the podcast for free. So.
And I'm just in general broke. So here we go.
Oh, man. Hey, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you introduce yourself and give us a little background?
All right. Well, I'm Raedell Counce. That's my full government name. I go by Ray. 30. How old am I? 38. It's funny. You stop counting after 21. Whatever. But 38 years old. I got 4 beautiful girls. Age range from 16 to I have an 8-year-old here in like a couple weeks. Married to my beautiful wife, Jenny. I'm not going to say her full name, but Jenny. She the love of my life since, middle school. 20 plus years and been married 15. So, what else about me? I'm like a man of many hats. Like, I'm telling you, I'm here and there and everywhere. I've been on with the fire service for, I've been married 15 years, so 14 years. So, this year's 14 years. I love it. I love what I do, It was either that or the police department, and just so happened the fire service called me back. So here we go, But no, side of that, I'm a business owner of several businesses. I'm like a broke Warren Buffett. I have so many LLCs, it's ridiculous. I go to my tax lady and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Counce, hi, how are you doing this year?" It's bad. It's bad.
So when did you, so 14 years in the fire service. Yeah. When did you start with the side businesses?
Actually, I got started with the side business a year after I got on the service, with the fire service. A guy that I worked with had a side business, and I was kind of intrigued with that, because I'd never had a job as such as with the fire service, with the time schedule that we have and everything. So I had a lot of downtime, and I really hate downtime. Like, I just don't like idle time. He has a side business, and I kept picking his brain about it. Picking his brain about it. And he actually helped me get into the start of one of my side businesses that I had, and I sold it, but I started lawn care. I taught myself how to run a zero turn. I never knew how to run a zero turn. I was always push mode, So I taught myself how to run a zero turn for YouTube, and a vacant lot that had a house that had burned down and just whatever. So I used to cut it just to, get practice. And it was on from there. I mean, I just kind of grew it from there. I taught myself a lot of stuff with business. And then around year 4 of me having my own business, I said, let's take this a little serious because I'm liking the money return that's coming in. I like doing things with my hands. I like being out, outside with the community. So let's take it up a notch. Let's go to school for this. So I went back to school, and I finished my associates, and I was like, well, I don't feel like paying back student loans yet, so let's go back to school. So,
I believe Chris is on that same track.
Yep, you're on the Chris plan.
There you go, exactly. So let's go back to school. Let's get more debt.
I saw a deal that said if you never want to pay back school loans, you just keep taking classes. Like once you finish whatever you're working on, then you go back to community college and take one class at a time because they're really cheap.
Yeah.
And it keeps deferring, and eventually you'll just die. And there's nothing they can do to you.
Do about it, It's, you can't collect now. Sorry.
And there's no estate for me. I'm poor.
Exactly.
So I'm like, yes, I'm in. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
I'm going to learn Spanish and sign language at the community
at
college when I'm done.
That is funny. I'm actually learning Spanish and sign languages next after I'm done with that. Is so funny you said that because I'm going to be taking an ASL class here pretty soon. So
I'll have to introduce you to my wife. That way you can practice.
There we go.
She's fluent in sign language.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to have to hook up.
Well, my bud Scott and Deb, they are sign language interpreters.
Really?
That's what they do for a living.
Really?
Yep.
I always find it fascinating when like the concerts and like things like that and the sign language interpreters on the side and they're kind of doing the movements and everything. I always kind of find it fascinating or whatever. So I was like, hey, why not? Let's take a peek into it and see what I can do.
I think when they do the concerts, though, they have to already know all the words to the songs and they have multiple people that tag in and out.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing a video of somebody doing Eminem when he did the song Rap God Live. And how fast their hands were going. I was like, my hands cramped up watching.
Exactly. I'm going to have to do some hand stretching or something like that.
I saw a deal on Instagram, the stand-up comedian he had a sign language interpreter. And he's like, this is the first time ever I've had one. And then he just started profanity, like horrible profanity. And she's dying laughing, this sign language interpreter, and the whole crowd's cutting up. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I mean.
I think that was a Matt Rife one, wasn't it?
It might have been. I might have to check it. Is it on YouTube? It was on Instagram where I saw it.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw it on TikTok. But yeah, it's definitely on YouTube. I mean, anymore, just look up Matt Rife, sign language interpreter, and it's got a bunch of them because he's always he does really good crowd work.
Yeah.
So he's pretty good.
Works the crowd pretty well then.
Yeah.
I like things like that. Funny stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Entertaining to me.
Yeah. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
And that's a pretty good episode.
Okay.
Yeah. They talked about.
Is it when they tried to cancel him?
It was actually, I think he went on that podcast before. That happened like just after.
Okay.
And so, but he was talking about they talked about stand-up comedy for like 5 minutes, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about like ghost hunting and like just all kinds of random shit.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
His podcast is hilarious. I love his podcast. I could sit there and watch him all day long because he jumps off the deep end on so much other stuff. It's like, wait a minute, how did we get here? Like you can't blink and you'll miss something.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of what happens here.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got to watch the podcast first, Ray.
Oh, I have. And I will say this. In 2 years, this has changed a lot. The area.
Yeah,
that's how long I've been watching it now.
See,
he showed you all the videos yesterday, didn't he?
No,
don't lie to me. He's been prepping you for like a week and a half now. No. Hey, check this out. This is the start. Now we changed it here. He's giving you all little tidbits. Don't lie to me. I know how he operates.
No, you know
I have known him for 20 years. He's a shyster.
You know what? In Green's defense, in Jerry's defense, he didn't. I did my research. I wanted to come prepared today.
I'll tell you another one you might. So I've been dipping my toe into some podcasts here lately. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Wow.
But Jordan Peterson has one, and Matt Rife was on. They did talk about him being canceled. Mm-hmm. But then I found a few others here recently that have been kind of good. I'm just not gonna. Those are my personal ones right now.
Your personal collection.
I haven't decided to jump on the deep end on this yet. It's something I'm looking into.
I will tell you right now.
It's not the podcast, but what they're about.
I'll tell you right now, Chris.
I suck at changing cameras.
Yes, I know. You should probably do that now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I told you we're leading with Ray.
Yeah.
He's our front man. Look at how good looking he is.
I mean, I wore this shirt just for the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
and I love the shirt.
thank you.
So,
Yeah.
hang on. There we go.
Yeah, no. The one that you should check out if it's not on your hidden personal collection already, you should watch the Jocko podcast. I think you would really like it. Especially whenever he does books by veterans or about, military history stuff. You'd really like that one.
You know how many books I have lined up in my bookshelf to read right now that I can't touch because of fucking textbooks?
You gotta get audiobooks.
I'm talking about a podcast, bro. Like he gives you
I know,
what's,
but
like
but I have so much reading I have to do right now
Mhm.
to finish the master's degree that I'm like, I don't have to. I want to read these 5 books, and I can't because
you have textbooks to read.
I have textbooks to read, and they're so entertaining.
Yeah.
we'll spend 3 hours, listen to a Jocko podcast while you're driving. It might take you a couple days,
There you go.
but
You know how far I drive to go to work and come home?
yeah, it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, on a slow day.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to take you at least a month to finish one episode.
Yeah.
But now you have like parts to it. You can break down in parts, like part 1.
Problem is, I have a memory that I can't. I have a bad memory.
Same here. I write a lot of stuff down.
Yeah, same.
Oh my goodness. All right. We suddenly veered sharply left.
Hey, I'm just trying to get Ray to his hour. I see he's like, I don't know if I can make an hour, guys.
Oh, we'll make an hour. Trust me.
I think it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I kind of want to talk about something because you're getting ready to do your promotional test.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So to WOC, right.
Mm-hmm.
As a captain.
Yep.
And we've talked about leadership a lot lately and leadership at every level,
Right.
Of being, the senior firefighter and that kind of leadership, the FAO, chauffeur, driver, engineer, whatever you want to call it, that leadership, and then the leadership that comes with the captain position.
Correct.
So I would like to hear your views on all that.
With leadership?
Yeah.
Nowadays, I have mixed feelings about. I guess I wouldn't have mixed feelings. More so, stronger feelings about. I feel like a lot of the old school guys who ran the service a certain way are gone.
Oh, closer to the mic there.
Closer to the mic there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
We want to hear what you're about to say.
Here we go. Sorry about that. I feel like the guys who were older, who paved the way for a lot of us to be on the fire service, are leaving. It's a dying breed. So a lot of the what I want to say, the hardcore. I don't want to say hardcore, but
Talking about the red ass.
Yeah, that type of mentality is gone or is going away. It's a dying breed. I mean, everybody hits soft touch everybody now, and I just don't feel like that's the way to run a company nor a business in that manner. I mean, so the leadership has declined or is declining. I've noticed just been on the fire service for 14 years, and just in the short 14 years, it's declined. We need more people like that in those positions, to kind of take the helm and be the red ass. Nobody really wants to be the bad guy anymore. Everybody wants to be the good guy.
Why do you think where do you think the changes come from then in your 14 years? What have you seen that has changed?
Culture.
With what part of the culture?
It's a different time now. It's things are just not the same anymore as it was 10 years ago. I don't know where the switch happened.
Well, do you want my opinion?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've lowered our standards.
Okay, yeah.
We've lowered our standards, the standards for entry, the standards to maintain your job.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. And we've done that. It's not just the fire service. We've done that across our society.
Yes.
We have just, okay, well, you can't hack it. Well, we're just going to change the standard so you can, be included.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it. We want to get more people in, because, you've seen whenever you applied for the fire service, there's probably 2,000 people that applied.
Oh, man, it was a ruthless process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now every department out there is like, we need people, we need people, we need people, and they're getting 200 applicants, or they're getting 50, or they're getting, whatever. Well, they don't have enough applicants to fill the vacancies.
Exactly. And so, I mean, it's a vicious cycle it becomes at that point. And like you said, it's just not with the fire service in general. It's a culture as a whole. It's society as a whole. Things have became really soft nowadays. And I hate to use the word soft because that's not really politically correct, but it has. Like, you can look at sports. Look at sports alone, like the NFL. I mean, you lay a pinky on a quarterback, it's a flag. Look at old tapes back when Tom Brady first got in the league. I mean, he got his clock cleaned. That doesn't happen anymore. Ryan Clark used to be one of the most fierce guys on the Steelers. To never come across the middle with him. You can't do that anymore. So you just take things like that. We were just talking about this last night. Last night. The difference between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and like I was telling the guy that I was talking to, I said, hey, it's not even a comparison. Do you think LeBron James would be able to go through the middle with the, Detroit Pistons and survive?
The bad boys of basketball?
Exactly.
Come on. We know we all grew up watching those guys.
Yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
That was like a 4-hour conversation yesterday.
And so you start seeing a shift in things like that, and you look at smaller things like commercials. I mean, you take a commercial from back, everybody remembers the Marlboro Man.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
And Joe Cool.
Joe Joe Camel. Everybody remembers these commercials, the cool commercials, the cool mint filter greens or whatever, Everybody remembers. You can't run those commercials anymore, because people get, oh, they shouldn't show that. Oh, they shouldn't. What? That's life.
They want to cancel Looney Tunes.
They want to, cartoons. I used to wake up every morning, give me the biggest bowl of cereal I could find, and sit in front of the TV for 3 hours and watch one Saturday morning Looney Tunes, and you can't find it anymore. It's all like Powerpuff Girls, and then you got guys looking at, what are you doing here? So it's a culture, it's a change. Things have just really shifted, and I think you're right. It's just the whole dynamics of, it's the want to do better. And without going on a soapbox.
No, get on it.
Okay, well, I'll get on my soapbox then. My wife and I, we always have these type of conversations. We sit in our garage often and have these conversations, and they're really fun. One thing that really, really, I think, contributed to the shift in this culture and the society as a general is, if you look at government as a whole, everything is accessible to you like this. Oh, I don't want to work anymore. Well, guess what? We're going to give you some stimulus money. Oh, I don't want to work anymore. Well, guess what? We're going to raise the welfare. We're going to raise this. We're going to raise. Don't worry about it. Sit at home and just collect the check. Who wouldn't want to sit on their butt collecting a check all day? I would love to, but I can't. Why? Because I have morals and ethics. I grew up different. I grew up working with my hands. Grew up getting dirty. I grew up going to work, waking up early in the morning, not getting home till late at night. These kids don't have that nowadays. So it starts to show when they get older and they get into the fire service and other jobs. It starts to show that. And then these are the same kids that become your supervisors, And if you have these same kids that come into any type of profession, fire service or whatever it is, and they have these same kind of morals and ethics, these are the people that are going to be leading Fortune 500 companies. These are the people that are going to be your top chiefs or whatever you call them in the fire service. So it becomes an inherent problem because, as we all know, it's like a snowball effect. Once you pick up momentum on one thing, I would say humans are like cattle. They will follow. If one goes one way, everybody else goes the same way. And so that's what it's going to end up happening. That's what's happening now, So that's what I think the shift is with.
So with you getting ready to take the WOC test to be able to ride out,
you're
going to be put in that captain role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have you noticed, or do you think there's been a shift? And because let's be honest, the captain in the fire service is a middle manager.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
where a lot of people who are in that role don't feel like the upper management or administration or however you want to word it has their back anymore when it comes to instilling values and ethics and morals into their firefighters.
See, and before you answer that, Ray, I got something to say.
Sorry. Clicked over. I forget, man. I get into the conversation. I'll just watch it because it's
yeah, I know it's hard.
This job sucks back here.
I want to challenge something that I want to challenge the idea of that captains are just middle managers, because I think in this line of work, like in any job, like fire service, police department, the military, whatever, you can't be a manager at that level.
This was that was going to be my next question.
Yeah. I think you have to be a leader because you are responsible for life and death decisions. And managers shouldn't be responsible for life and death decisions.
Yeah. I agree. And that was going to be the next point. You're jumping the gun.
Oh, well, you should have texted me your line of questioning.
No, because you don't look at your phone because you say it's fucking rude. Don't take your phone. Don't take your phone. God damn.
So, Ray,
podcast wife. I had a lot of coffee this morning, by the way. Fuck you guys.
Hey, it's all right.
I'm jittery. I'm over here a little jittery.
Pre-workout in there.
Pre-workout and coffee. Yeah.
Coffee. It's a great combo.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that eye twitch.
It's normal.
Dude, I had my big travel mug of coffee on the way home from the station this morning. I got home. I did a thing of pre-workout. I came down here, pumped out a workout, took a shower, and then people started showing up. So I'm like, let's go.
And then a little while, you're like, I need a nap.
Yeah.
All right. So let me rephrase my question. So when you compare a corporate company and the fire service, even the captains are in a way a middle manager when you compare them. Even though I agree we are in a leadership role and you're leading people into dangerous situations. Do you feel though, like some of that has been stripped from you by upper management because of the changes we've seen in the country in the last 10 years?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been stripped so much to where your supervisors or, captains or whoever you want to, name them, whatever, they're nothing more than almost like key holders at this point. And that's totally just wrong to do. Like you were saying, you can't be a manager in a job like this. You have to be a leader. And a lot of that, directly correlates with what I was talking about just a little while ago. There is no leaders. Like there's a lot of people that follow. That's why I made the analogy. A lot of humans are like cattle. One goes one way, everybody goes the same way, because everybody's a follower. And nobody takes that second step to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to go that way. I'm not getting in that truck. I'm going to go left. Until somebody starts doing that more often, it's going to be a repetitive cycle, of this. It's going to be a repetitive cycle. And one thing my wife and I always talks about, and we raise our kids, our 4 girls like this. I mean, if you were to, hang around my girls for any length of time, you'd be like, you sure they're girls or they boys? Like, but as much as I try to teach them girly stuff, I try to teach them, guy stuff as well. I mean, I don't think that, because you are a certain gender, you have to learn a certain thing. But at the same time, I don't want you to be a follower. I don't want you to have to follow this person because you need something from this person or you need something from the situation or you're being lazy. Get up, get it yourself. And that's what a lot of this is lacking is people getting up and getting things themselves.
It's self-sufficiency.
Exactly.
I mean, like we see it. I'll use the change the battery in the smoke detector analogy. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, and we do that as a service. The fire service does that. We will come to your house, change your smoke detector batteries, twice a year, whatever you need, right? And for the most part, we're going and we're doing it for elderly people.
Right.
Right? They can't get up on a ladder anymore, whatever. And we want them to be safe. So that's what we go do. Yeah. Invariably, we are going to go and some 25 to 30-year-old guy is going to be standing there and it'll be as simple as reaching up,
That's it.
taking the thing off. Like, you don't even have to get a ladder.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many times I've run that call, but they don't know how to do that.
You
Right.
don't need a ladder because you're lurch. Some of us others need a ladder.
Oh, like the vertically challenged
Yes.
personnel. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. Well, that's why we have step stools and.
I love my step stool.
Yeah,
But I don't hit my head as often.
that's true. I got a couple
dude.
knots in my
Yeah.
head from just over the years of just hitting stuff.
So that fire that we had
Yeah,
last day,
yeah,
you know, they had that archway.
right.
I ran into that damn thing like 3 times.
Oh yeah, I can guarantee
See?
it.
See? And I wouldn't hit my head.
I guarantee
Fuck
it.
you tall
No.
guys.
Yeah, because when I came in to go check on you guys, I hit my head.
Yep.
I was like, Heck nabbit.
Yeah. That's a Looney Tunes
Yeah, it's a
callback.
little-
I like
yeah,
it.
you like it?
Yep.
See? It's like a suckle.
Yep. Holy
Now he's
shit.
chucking Larry and us.
Yeah.
See, it's all connected, guys. It's all connected.
Oh. So, but that brings up another interesting point, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of being self-sufficient. So, where do you learn that from?
I think, I mean,
You,
it starts at home.
Yeah.
It starts at home. But the problem is that home is getting younger and younger and younger by the year, you know. I mean, you're having kids, you know, and you're having grandmas at the age of 40, 45 years old. You know, I mean, these parents are growing up with the kids nowadays. I mean, and again, I take it all the way back to, you know, as big as government and as small as TV. You know, I know at home we limit the time our kids are on TV and tablets. Go outside and play. You know, it's for you guys. Come up with something. You know, a lot of times these parents, they stick these kids in front of TVs and all they're doing is just brainwashing them for the stuff that the TV wants to push, the narrative that they want to push, right? So if the narrative or the movie or whatever the show is like, for example, Burns My Cakes Up, the TV show with the girls that get pregnant in school.
Teen Mom?
You
Don't
are
watch TV, man.
you're glorifying a teen girl getting pregnant, and now they're making money. Goo gobs of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Every girl who's seeing this, who's in school, is like, you know what? Maybe if I get pregnant,
Yep.
I can get some money.
See, and I used to say that all the time. Like, we had become a society of people who are famous for nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I really don't think that's the case. I think it's really kind of the case of you are famous and wealthy for bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like, you make bad decisions
Yeah.
and somehow you have turned that
To a
into,
reward system.
yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
All right. My mind's just
Oh man.
melted now.
I mean, it's became a society of something for nothing.
Mhm.
I used to hear my dad talk about that a lot. Something for nothing, you know. I'm like, what are you talking about, old man? Now that I'm getting old, I'm like, damn, he was right. Something for nothing. You know, I mean, look at nowadays, you don't have to lift a finger for anything anymore.
Yeah, but it has to come from somewhere, right? Remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch.
No, there is, well,
No, where's the money come from, right?
there is no such thing as a free lunch. But do you think that people who receive stuff for free think about that type of stuff?
I don't. No, I don't. They just think it's the government giving them money because they don't understand how the processes work.
Right.
And even, let's be honest, we sit here and complain about it, and we see the big parts.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of little things that
There
we
is.
don't understand
Mhm.
because we're not showing it, because government is not transparent, because they knew if they were, the average citizen would rise up and lose their shit
Right.
because the amount of money they're wasting
Yeah. I
on a
mean,
daily. And, you know, like now, Medicare and Social Security is something that a lot of people pay into.
Mhm.
And it's not, and now they're calling it, they changed the name of it. It's a, should have had the word, I lost it.
That's social safety network. Or
It's something like that,
Yeah.
but it's a entitlement.
Mhm.
It used to be a benefit because you're paying into it, but now they call it an entitlement. It's not a fucking entitlement.
no.
If it's an entitlement, we don't pay into it.
Right.
Because you hear of Social Security and Medicare running out of money,
Mhm.
but you never hear of food stamps and welfare, Section 8 housing running out of fucking money.
No.
Why is that?
Exactly.
And I'm not saying we don't need those programs. We do.
No.
People need help, and I'm
Absolutely.
okay helping them.
I am.
But Jesus Christ, I got a limit.
Yeah, there is a limit. And like I always say, you know, at one point I aspirated to be the president of the United States.
I'll vote for you right now, today.
That shit was, no. When I saw everything, no. I'm not
I got your VP.
You know, there it is.
This guy.
There it is. You know, secretary, right?
That's
Sure.
DOD right there.
Okay.
I'm in.
DOJ, you know, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll find something. You know, I'll create a job for you. You know.
You know what?
Shit.
I tell you what. Because he decorated this whole podcast room,
Yeah.
Secretary of the Interior.
There it is. There it is.
I know that's not their job. I'm quite well aware.
There it is.
But it was
There
funny.
it is. But you know what? I told you I will make a job for you. We'll get a plaque and everything. It'd be wonderful. But one thing I did say though, like, you know, okay, so let me get this. Let me just clear the air real quick. I'm not ragging on anybody who's on those type of assistance. You know,
No, not at all.
But like I was saying, if I was president or, you know, some type of government leadership or anything like that, it has to be a step program. And that's what I would introduce. It has to be some sort of step program because these things are put in place for help, not long-term sustainability, for help for you to get back on your feet. So there has to be some type of step program, you know, whether that while you're getting these benefits, you're going to a trade school and get some type of trade so you can go in the workforce because Lord knows, I mean, you could find a job anywhere now. I mean, it's hard to go down the block without finding a job. So, and they don't push college anymore like they used to, you know, in these schools. They have all these trades. You can go HVAC or go to mechanic school or, you know, whatever, which is fine. But in these instances, you know, as long as if you're going, say I want to get on benefits, right? They would put me on like a 5-year plan. Well, trade school was 2 years, something like that. 5-year plan. Year 1 is a certain amount. You get more than year 2. Year 2, you step down because you're in trade school or whatever it is that you're doing. Year 3, it steps down a little bit more, you know, because now you're about done with trade school. Year 4, now you get a list of places that are hiring in the trade that you just took. So your money steps down a little bit more. Year 5, the money steps down a little bit more because you should have a job at this point, you know. And if you don't, you know, it's case by case. That's why you have case managers and case workers and social workers and everything else, right? And then after that, you're off. You're off because now you are a working member of society now. And now you're contributing to the same program in which you were on. And so it gets people who just want to sit on their butt and just collect a check. It gets them up and moving around. You know, if you really need this money, sure, it's there. You know, but if you're just doing it because you're being lazy, that's going to weed out a lot of people, you know?
Yeah. And I agree with you on there needs to be a time limit. I think 5 years is probably too long.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
I think it depends on your step down.
It's still, yes, it depends on your step down. It depends on you. That's a case by case.
I
So
mean,
look, I mean, if you're saying like at year 5, you're getting 10% of what you were, you know, at max. So a couple $100 a month, maybe. I can handle that with, because you're still kind of maybe not getting paid what you need. So we're still helping in a way, but at the same time, maybe a 4-year plan.
Yeah.
It depends. I think it depends if you go to a trade school or an academic university, depending on what you want to do. And but it's all, like you said, case by case.
Yeah.
So you might be off at 2.5 years because you don't need it anymore.
Exactly.
But we have that little safety net because people stub their toes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. How many times have any one of us stubbed our toes?
Absolutely.
And need a little bit of help?
It's life.
Usually family is the one that's going to step in.
Mm-hmm.
But
sometimes
there's sometimes, or friends or whoever, but there's still that little safety net that we have around us. Because we are fortunate in that to have that.
Yeah. I mean, and then to go to your point with the Medicare and the Medicaid, you know, like, again, I can go off on a tangent on this stuff. I mean, unfortunately for myself, I'm really deep with the Medicaid side of everything. You know, that's one of my many Warren Buffett LLCs that I own.
Go ahead and plug it, Ray.
I'll go ahead and plug it real quick. Hey, if you need any type of Medicaid or, you know, assisted daily living, help, call us. Faithful Hands of Care, 886-7965. Give us a call Monday through Friday.
Do you got a website? I'll put that link in the description.
You know, unfortunately, I don't have a website yet because we're a small business. It's really hard out here for small businesses. So, you know, but we do have a Facebook page. Get on Facebook, Faithful Hands of Care, LLC.
I love the wink.
He looked dead into the camera too.
Absolutely.
Like, I like it.
You have to.
You know how to play it, man.
This ain't Ray's first rodeo.
No.
But no, so that does bring up kind of one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is that senior care and that those people that need that later in life. Right. Like, why don't we have a better program for that can pay services like yours to go in and do those things that need to be done? Like, because we do it. We all, every single one of us has run that god awful freaking assisted living that's really not assisted living that people are just paying crazy amounts of money to. But, you know, like,
it's
why?
not even the amount of money when you go into those places, they want you to sign over everything you own to them.
Everything.
So now, like, if I go in there or one of you guys goes in there, you pretty much got to take everything you own before you go in and put it in your kid's name. That way they can't fucking touch it because they're snake oil salesmen.
Yeah,
that's all they are.
They are.
They're trying to get every cent out of you for fucking nothing.
Yep. I mean, and it's sad. It really is. I mean, it would make your head spin the amount of money these nursing homes and assisted living places get. I mean,
Make you puke.
It'd make you puke. I have the numbers in my office. It's ridiculous. And then to underfund a program like Medicaid, and we work with people who are on Medicaid that actually need these services, and to be paid the way that, for the company to be paid the way that we are, it makes it really hard to pay our workers who want to work and help out people that are on Medicaid. So you have a hard time retaining workers, good workers, you know, because we don't get paid anything. You know, everybody's, oh, you own this, oh, you're rolling in the dough. No. A lot of times, a lot of stuff comes out of our pocket personally, you know, from mattresses to food to lights to gas. A lot of the times we're paying their utilities because they don't have the money to do it, you know, and they can't go and work because they're on Medicaid and they have a disability, you know, but the government is not helping with these folks. Instead of doing that, they're talking about slashing Medicaid, and it's just plain out ridiculous. It's sad.
Well, they never talk about slashing their salaries, do they?
Exactly. Never talk about that. Matter of fact, they get a raise, you know, and you know, it would bring me to my next small little point. And I'll jump back on Medicaid here in a second. With that being said, you know, with slashing Medicaid and everything else, you know how much money we've given to, I'm do a little pivot real quick. You know how much money we've given to the war that we're not even fighting right now?
You talking about Ukraine?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's got to be close to $1 trillion by now.
Yeah. You know what really burned my ass up the other night? I was out with my wife who was just driving around the city looking at the lights and just people watching. That's what we like to do. Sometimes we like to go to Walmart and just people watch. We'll we'll get Chick-fil-A and sit in the parking lot. We'll just people watch. We'll make a whole story up about their life, know nothing about them, you know. But we was out and
I'm not going to Walmart with Ray.
It sounds like a pretty good time.
It's a great time.
Unless I'm in the car, then I'm okay with it. But if I'm walking in, no.
It's a wonderful time. I mean, it would have you in stitches. You know, a lot of times I can't even finish my sandwich. I'm laughing so hard. You know, it's ridiculous. And I like Chick-fil-A a lot. You know? But you know, it saddens me. I was out. My wife and I was rolling around, and I stopped at this gas station. And it made my stomach turn to see a homeless guy rubbishing through trash at a gas station. He went to trash can, looking for food. That did something to me. With all the money we're sending across seas, or with all the money that we just blow, and we can't help our own people here in our own country.
Yeah. Dude, it is supremely depressing.
It is.
And especially because we see it on a daily basis.
It is.
Because, like, I can tell you right now, and I don't have any stats to back this up or anything. This is anecdotal.
Yeah.
From my own experiences,
That's a big word.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah. I told you. Podcast day is big word day.
Ooh.
But from the time that Chris and I came on the job to now, in the past, I would say, I think it increased every year, but in the past 5 years to 7 years, the homeless or unhoused or whatever PC word you want to use for them, that population has grown exponentially.
658,000 people. And this is actual stats. I looked it up this morning because I wanted to bring this topic up. Told you I come prepared. Nice. I come prepared. A little over 658,000 people are homeless in America. That's just over 500,000 people. And there's a lot of people in America, but we shouldn't have any homeless. I mean,
well, I will say that with a caveat, though.
It is with a caveat.
There are many different reasons that people become homeless, right? The number one, I think, contributing factor, or the top two, mental health and drug addiction.
Yeah.
Right? So there are shelters in place that are full and overflowing and all that stuff, but a lot of people won't go to the shelters because they're drug addicted. And you can't do drugs at the shelter, or they have mental health problems that they're trying to, we like the word self-medicate with drugs. And
let me pose this question to you, though. With all the money that we give away, just not with this war here, but just anytime, because, you know, we're like the big brother of the world. We like to come to everybody's rescue, right? So just in general, right? All the money that we spent, I pose this question. Do you think that some of that money could be put back into mental health, which it needs to be, to have better facilities, better therapists, better means of getting a hold of a therapist, put in some of these programs to help people kick the addiction of drugs, put in some of these programs to help combat the war on drugs? You know, that's one of the things that I feel like America kind of lacks in that area. It's taking care of their own. They take care of everybody else in the world. When it comes to their own home front, we kind of lack in that. You know, to see a veteran on the side of the road holding a sign, and you stand there and talk to him, I just came across hard times.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you.
Shouldn't any veteran be homeless?
No.
Any veteran. Nobody should be homeless, but especially a veteran. Nobody like that should be homeless. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I 100% agree, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is a problem that is not going to get fixed.
Yeah.
Even if they decided, this is a longer thought, so everybody bear with me. This is not a problem that's going to get fixed tomorrow.
Right.
Even if they decided today, hey, this is what we're going to do. We are going to take $5 billion and we are going to funnel it into programs to train more counselors and therapists, and we're going to make it to where they can have a livable wage. Because if you guys don't know, like, if you are a therapist and you're taking insurance money, you're not getting paid. You're getting paid $50 a session, maybe 35, maybe 80, depending on what you can negotiate. Like, it's pretty fucking ridiculous. These insurance companies fuck therapists hardcore with what they pay. Yeah. And then here's even the best part about it, right? So you'll do a session, you submit it to insurance. You think you're going to get paid that week? No. 3 weeks. Yeah. Minimum.
I'm about to say they're usually on a 30 or a 60 day back pay on those.
Yeah. Why do you think all that is?
Well, because insurance is not there to pay money. They're there to make a profit because of the way the system has changed. But anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah. So to fix this problem, right? And it's a huge problem. It's one that we shouldn't even have as we'll call ourselves the premier civilization, culture, or whatever in the world today, right? Right. We shouldn't even have this problem. No. Because we should have the foresight to go, okay, we see what direction we're going. We have to take steps to fix this now. This is what we're going to do. You know, we haven't done that. No. But in the process to train up the counselors and all of that stuff and to get people to go into that career field, because it's not an easy career field.
It isn't, but it's a rewarding career field. All the therapists that I've talked to, that I've known forever, even some of my own personal therapy, you know, it's a rewarding. They all say the same. It's a rewarding career. You know, it's not the easiest one to get into. You know, it's not the easiest one to go to school for. It's not the easy one to do day in and day out. Hey, they need therapists, you know, but it's a rewarding one. And it's something like the fire service. It's a calling.
Yeah.
So there's more people out there like that. It's hard to find those type of people with everything that's going on nowadays. And so that's becoming a dying breed. How hard is it to get into to find a therapist? It took me almost 2-3 months to find one therapist.
Yeah.
To even make an appointment. But that appointment was 2-3 months after I called her. To me, that's another problem. It's because she's so overworked. I mean, either they're not answering the call, returning phone calls, or they're so overbooked that where it takes 3-4 months to even get into an appointment.
Yeah.
What's that doing for somebody's mental?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it is. Yeah.
It's scary nowadays.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I used to hear my grandma talk about days like these. I'm like, old lady, you see now. You know? You see now. No, she was spot on. You know, my great grandmother used to talk about days like this. I'm like, oh, you're really senile. No. You know, I mean, it's, you know, I joke around a lot, man, but like a lot of this stuff, it is full circle with stuff. I mean, everything plays upon something else. You know, we talked about leadership and, you know, stepping up and taking the lead and everything else. I mean, that trickles down within everything. Look at today with, say, the police force, for example, right? I love police officers. Police officers, military personnel, fire personnel, I love them. Doctors, all the guys. You know? But when I was a kid, we used to see police in the neighborhood constantly. And not even on like malicious, like bad stuff. Like they're not coming to respond to a call. They're just hanging out with the kids. I got a book still to this day when I was 8 to 10 years old or whatever, just baseball cards, you know? We don't see that anymore. Like the public, that interaction between the public. We don't see that anymore. That's where this whole divide is coming from with the police departments and regular civilians and everything. It's because they're not actively in the communities anymore. You know,
You're talking about outreach.
That's
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm a very big advocate of.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest hurdles besides money, I know that's always an issue.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest hurdles is having leadership that does not believe in it or see the need for it or understand what it actually is and utilizing it the proper way.
Correct.
Because you build those relationships early in somebody's life, whether it's with military, law enforcement, fire service, EMS, doctors, nurses, or whatever field, even counselors. And it's going to change the entire culture and we can go on a street level, just on one block. You can change that entire block quickly,
real quick,
for the better. And then that trickles to the next block and the next block and the next block.
But not even that.
And all of a sudden, you change the whole culture of a generation.
Yeah, a whole generation. Yeah.
Well, and so here's the fly in the ointment, staffing.
That is an old ass term.
I mean,
have you met Jeremy Green?
But here's the thing, right? So
he's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
if you have enough staffing where police, for example,
right,
if they're not running call to call, then they have that 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour during their shift where they can go and interact with those kids on the playground or, you know, they can do those type of things.
Right.
But whenever it's, oh, hey, we need you at this location for a car wreck, and they're sitting there and they're doing the car wreck thing, and this, hey, we got like these 3 other calls holding for you.
Yeah, it becomes hard.
Yeah,
you can't do the outreach at that point.
Yeah,
you know,
so there's still a way. Let's be honest. Every fire service, every law enforcement agency, has people that have been injured on the job.
There you go. Boom.
You can't respond to calls because you're injured. So what the fuck, man? Utilize them. You're gonna pay them. They'll still get their full salary. Yeah. You still put them in a department vehicle. Yeah. And hey, let's go do some outreach. Yeah. It's not hard to shake hands and kiss babies, man. Sit down and have a goddamn conversation with somebody, and you'll be surprised at how similar people from completely different backgrounds are. And all it takes is a little bit of respect and have a conversation, look each other in the eye.
Yeah.
And now you're still changing the culture with the staffing issue, and you're going to help correct that staffing issue because you've done the outreach and you've built those relationships, and people are like, oh, hey, what I'm seeing on TV or in short clips on social media is a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have bad people out here in certain jobs. You're going to have that in every single field.
Yeah.
But 90%, if not more, of the people in these careers are good and try and do it for the right reasons and want to help. But people don't see that. They see the negative, because it's just like when you talk to a friend and you're like, oh yeah, I had a bad experience at this restaurant. You're like, fuck that restaurant. Yeah. Yep. They had one bad experience. Maybe that person's eaten there 20 times and never had an issue, but you remember the one bad one and not the 20 other times it was great. Oh yeah. And that's the problem. So to help change the issues that we have, you got to step up and do something outside the box. But people don't want to fucking do it because you're pushing the envelope and going against the grain. It needs to fucking stop. Off my soapbox.
I agree. That was a good one.
Yeah. We got Chris a little fired up.
A little fired up.
I didn't know.
Had me sit over my chair a little bit.
Like, what are we doing next day, Ray?
Right.
Outreach.
We're outreaching.
Think about it. You know what? You do outreach every day. You just don't fucking know you do it.
Yeah.
I told you, I love outreach. I'm passionate about it. Yeah. That's because I got hurt and I fucking did it and I saw the value in it. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm in 100%. Yeah. When you go to the store to get your groceries for the day, how hard is it to walk by, and say hi to, you say hi to a kid, don't you? Hey, you want to see the fire truck? Yeah. You do it. That's outreach, man. Yeah. It's that simple. Having the conversation, people come up, what are you guys cooking? We hear it every time. Yeah. What time's dinner? Yeah. 6 o'clock. Yeah. Bring some cake and cookies.
Yeah. Come on by.
That's outreach. It's having a simple conversation with people, because you say hi or whatever it is. That conversation will lead to so many places if you will let it and not be rushed. Get off your goddamn phone in public.
Yeah. That's another thing.
And talk to these people, because they're the people that allow us to do our job.
Exactly.
Their tax dollars allow us to have the greatest job in the world. And we need to reciprocate that to them and be kind. Yeah. And just talk to them. Yeah. That's all they want.
It's just talking.
They see us. We see you too. Yeah. Pretty simple.
I mean, it really is. And I think it's gotten worse with what 4 or 5 years ago with everybody wearing masks. It got worse, because then it's become really antisocial. If things were put in place before all that stuff happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. You know,
you could still do outreach even with the social distancing.
No. I'm saying, I'm saying,
mask and being antisocial.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, like, that people feel like, I think people at that time felt like, and even some sort of today, you kind of just walk around out and just see people, whatever. I got a mask on. I don't know how to be social. I mean, I could walk past you, right? I say, hey, how you doing? You got a mask on, you don't say anything. Well, just because you have a mask on doesn't mean that you can't talk. I can hear you.
So there's been studies and stuff done on that. Yeah. Because the nonverbal communication, right? Whenever you can't see this part of people's faces, that nose, mouth area, like it really fucks up communication between humans.
It does. It does. It's like a disruption in energy. Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's kind of weird how that happens, but.
So how many times you've been misunderstood through a text message?
Yeah. Because there's no tone. There's no emotion, nothing. Tone's a big deal when you're talking to somebody. Like, you can be fired up. Yeah. But I know you're not angry. Right. Like, I'm not angry. I'm fucking fired up now. Yeah. You fuckers got me. Yeah.
Got him. Got him.
I'm flattening all 4 of your fucking tires when we leave here.
What?
Fuck you guys.
You just said you weren't angry, and now he's talking about vandalism.
Yeah. You're right. I'm only doing 3.
Yes. There you go, man.
That's what I mean.
That's the spark I was looking for.
But you're right. I mean, the nonverbal cues, the head nod, somebody you don't know, every guy does it. You do the downward head nod. Yeah. I know you. It's upward. Right. What's that?
Where are we going?
It's there. But when you take things away, such as the social distancing, the being in public, even I'm a fan of remote work and working from home. I'm a fan of it. But we have tools like what we have here with cameras or Zoom and all that, where you can still have that interpersonal communication.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, and we've talked about it a lot, doing podcasts over Zoom or having a conversation over Zoom, you lose something.
Yeah.
Like
do not disagree with that.
Yeah. If you being in the same room with someone
It's completely different.
is completely different. There is an energy.
Yes.
There is the
Yes.
body language is more
Right.
evident. Like, and you can just tell the conversation just
Mhm.
it flows so much better.
Yeah.
But that technology barrier there,
Mhm.
like, and especially with Zoom, and if, well, let's say your internet connection isn't quite as good or quite
Right.
the same, like
Yeah.
there's that little delay there
Yeah.
where somebody will stop speaking and the other person is waiting
Mhm.
because they haven't heard they're still getting the information on
Well,
their
you
side.
see it on the live broadcast of the news too,
Yeah.
because there's always that delay where there's nobody talking.
Right.
But here's the thing: it's still an option.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
all it is. It's giving people options to still have face-to-face communication
When they can't.
when they can't be there in person for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of jobs can be done remote because you can live anywhere and get the work done.
Mhm.
Can we do the fire service remote?
I'd love to respond out of my house.
I don't know if I would hear the tones if I was at the house. We sleep so deep.
I can tell you that we have the new system in my station
Yeah.
and in my office.
Yeah.
Hear it great. If I'm in the day room with the TV on
Yeah.
and people talking,
Mhm.
can't hear it. I'm like, lights on. Shit, did we get a call? And then run to the rig to see because of the computer. But
Right.
and it's so low you can't hear it.
Oh.
And of course we're all old and
I'm gonna say I
at
already
this
can't
point.
hear.
Yeah, I've already got that issue too.
Yeah. Yesterday, whenever I made the joke of that's why I can't hear because I had the radio up so damn loud, we were coming back from a call. So we worked overtime on the same rig yesterday. And so we go on this call, lift assist or whatever it was, and we turn around and we're coming back to the station. And, you know, with the lights and sirens and everything, you got to kind of turn the radio up so you can hear
Yeah.
what dispatch is saying. And so after I put us in service, we're headed back to the station. Well, I forgot to turn the radio down.
Do it all
So-
the time.
And then they dispatch another call, and it's like just in my left ear, just so loud. And I'm like, yep, that's
Mhm.
why I'm going deaf.
Yep.
Well, you know, and let's be honest, they're going to the headphones in a lot of rigs where I think it's time to start utilizing them. One, you have better
Yeah.
communication in the rig where you're not yelling at each other, the guys in the back to the front and vice
That's very
versa.
true.
You can hear the radio
That's very true.
and you can talk on the radio and it's all right here in your ears. Plus it protects your hearing from the outside with the sirens and the horns and all that stuff. But you're not missing those key messages that you need when you respond to something,
Right.
whether it's a fire or a massive car wreck or anything else that we are responding to.
Of course.
And it's not relying on your computer for notes because I don't think the fire service utilizes that the way it should be. And I would make a whole lot of changes there.
Yeah. Right.
That's a whole nother
a
soapbox
whole
I
nother
can
thing, yeah.
fucking get on.
On the next episode.
Hey, look, I'm just going to remind you that you're not the guest here. Ray is the guest. And we came
Loving
to hear
it.
what he has to say.
Ray, how you think I'm doing, bud?
I think you're doing great. I think you're doing
So
wonderful.
fuck Jeremy.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Fuck Jeremy. I got you. Times two.
A plus one.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cube it. That's a math joke, by the way.
Yeah, I wasn't smart enough.
Jeremy doesn't get math.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't math. My math doesn't math very often.
At all. At all. No. I'm horrible
So,
at math.
We're gonna have a math class one of these days.
We can't do. Listen. I'm out. If there's anything like a spelling bee, I'm out.
Oh, I can't spell.
I can't spell. I mean, thank goodness for iPhones. Spell check.
Just spell check alone.
Android does that too, bro.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if y'all was still behind or not. Or
Oh,
Hey man, I got an iPhone.
Ray.
I had an Android once, and then I woke up.
Now let's be honest. We're the iPhones and Androids, but they're
What's that saying?
it's just different sides of the bread. That's all it is.
That's all. The middle versus the butt.
Yeah. I think the butt would be the flip phones, and I want those back.
Oh, I used to love my. Nothing said "fuck you" like closing that flip phone hard.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to talk to you. Click, because they would hear that. Oh, he doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I'd always do it with the one finger.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking, it's like, boop.
Oh yeah. You got to make the click sound with
Yep.
the click.
You can't slam a cell phone.
No.
I do miss the old phones where you could when I got the ones on the wall, or we had the big one where it was the rotary dial.
Oh, we had
back
that
in the
too.
Day. And when you slam it down, it rang real hard.
Yeah.
Everybody could hear it, even on the other side.
Yep.
Like, oh, he mad.
Oh, he mad. He's big mad. I heard a ring back.
Kids today don't know that.
No, my kids. Funny shit. I was like, we're failing as parents. They never heard a dial tone before. It freaked them the fuck out. It did. We was down at the grandma's. I said, hey, Zai, can you get the phone and dial this number real quick? She's like, yeah. She puts the phone. She said, Dad, the phone's broke. I go, huh? I said, the phone's not broke. It's a landline. She goes, oh, is this what this is? I said, yes, baby. Like they were.
Ask him how to what rolling up a window means.
Oh my God. Their arms would fall off.
Yeah.
Their arms were. I think my forearms got strong for the fire service by just rolling and cranking on my damn window. You know, I mean, I had an 89 Ford Tempo, right? We called it the Hot Cheetah because it was oxidized at the top. And it was nice
hey,
pedal
man,
side.
That's a big word, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Just say it was rusty.
It's Monday, right?
Yep.
Just say rust.
No. It's oxidized. It sounds exotic.
Patina.
So everybody's going, that's not a Tempo. That's a Lamborghini. No, it was a Tempo. Like, funny thing, the sides were nice. I kept the sides waxed. Never touched the top. But anywho.
Yeah.
Didn't have AC, just had heat. I used to have to reach in my back seat, roll this one up. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's too far down. Let me roll it back up a little bit. Reach back here, catch a cramp in my shoulder blade, roll this one down. Oh, they would never understand that nowadays.
Nope.
It's a push of a button. That's weird. A friend of mine was like, hey, I think I failed as a dad. I said, what do you mean, man? He said, my son doesn't know how to address an envelope. He doesn't know how to use the mail system. Everything's email nowadays. Everything's FaceTime or, instant messenger. He didn't know how to address the envelope.
I had to teach my son how to fill out a check
That's
at like 20 years old because he's like, I started getting mad. I was like, wait, you've never had to do this. I can't get mad at you for something you've never had to do.
Right.
Because since he's been around, it's all debit cards.
Yeah.
And and
cashless.
And he got a job at our local badass gas stations that we have for a while. And he was like, I have to count back change. So it took us over an hour. And I'm like, it's so simple. It's like because he's never done it. He never had to.
Well, math is different too, though.
We escaped that one.
2 + 2 is not 4 anymore.
No, it's 7.
Exactly. How did you get here?
That's the old Abbott and Costello math.
Because of the oppressive patriarchy of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like we talked about a while ago. Boards are not 12 feet, 14 feet squared anymore. And, and it stop.
Oh my God.
Screw me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're putting columns in our living room, dining room area
Yeah.
to help separate it because my wife had to buy all this furniture. So we get the boards, they're 8-foot boards, and we go to put them, just set them up to see kind of what we're working with and get where our platform is going to be and all that.
Right.
And I couldn't get it. It was at an angle. I was like, what the fuck? So we take it back outside and I measure it, and it's 8 feet 2 inches and 1/4. And the other one's 8 feet 2 inches and 3/4. I'm like, what the fuck, man? 8 is 8.
8 is 8.
Yeah.
Just make a square.
Oh, dude. So the boards for this table, right?
Yeah.
6 foot. They're supposed to be 6-foot boards. I had everything from 5'10" to 6'1".
Yeah. I believe you. I mean, it is the most confusing thing because, we grew up on everything was square. If it was 12 foot, it was 12 foot. If it was 8 foot, it's 8 foot. None of this and 1/4.
Well, look at tape measures.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not every tape measure is the same.
I know.
Where the 1 inch is and where you're everything. I'm like, what the? How am I supposed to get an accurate measurement?
Yeah.
And make because some things need to be squared and leveled.
Of course.
And even the levels, I'm like, this level says it's level. This level gave me a big middle finger.
Yeah. It was
and my walls aren't 90 degrees, and I'm like, because I know my cuts are good, and this is 90 degrees, but then I put it on the wall, and I'm like, why do I have a gap? What's going on? And it's like, did I put the angle up there? I'm like, it's not 90 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not true 90 degrees. Yeah. I mean, levelers. I still got an old tape measure from back in the day. I think my dad used to be my dad or something like that. So it's like an old school. It's got a little rust on it, but just watch your fingers when you reel it in. You'd be all right.
Yeah.
But
I've got a few of those.
Yeah, you could be all right. I haven't seen a new tape measure yet because I'm holding on to this one in hopes that it never breaks. because I'm hearing the horror stories about the measuring tapes and everything. You know,
I mean, I've got new ones too, but the old ones are like even a lot of the tools that I have.
Oh, reliable.
I mean, I have the new tools. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when my grandpa died, he had so many tools because he was he could fix anything.
Yeah.
And my dad took some, you know, and my brother took some, and I took some, and they're still some of the best tools out there.
Yeah.
They're not the most comfortable to hold or use,
But they're great tools.
but they fucking work when you need them to work, and they work the right way.
Yeah. Yep. No gear stripping out or anything like that. How many sockets I went through?
That's because things used to be built to last.
Yeah.
But now we are a throwaway society of, you know, I love Harbor Freight. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, I need this tool for this one job.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, well, I finished that job and the tool's kind of, it's not really good anymore.
Yeah.
So I just throw it away.
It's the 7-Eleven tools.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And that's how they all are.
Yeah.
Like you go to Home Depot or
Mhm.
Lowe's or anywhere else,
Yeah.
you're going to pay more money.
Yeah.
It's the same quality of
It's the
tools
same
because they
quality.
all get made in the same factory.
That's it.
Because-
Stamped out the same metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they do it with cars nowadays.
Mhm.
You know, it's the same thing of, yes, you bought this car, but we want to make more money off of you.
Mhm.
So you're only going to have this car for a certain amount of time before it craps out.
Yeah. Same thing with phones and everything else. You know,
Yeah.
after so long, your phone stops working.
That's why they push the
Yeah.
updates they push on the phones.
Exactly.
Because all of a sudden you're out of storage and memory and all
Mhm,
this, and the
mhm.
processor can't keep up.
Yeah.
So
you
now
have
your
to.
phone slows down, your battery starts to die,
Mhm.
and it's not worth it to replace the battery or pay for the storage because you end up paying a lot more money.
Yeah.
It's like, well, guess I'm getting a new phone again.
Exactly.
And you just pay, and like, you know, they talk about, because we got new phones not too long ago.
He's coming from a place of
So,
truth.
so the guy, this was the most honest person that I have ever dealt with when it came to getting a new phone.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, screw it, I have AT&T. Lily says you can get the phone for this and it's half the price and you keep her so long. Yeah. But you have to trade in within a year or else that deal goes away.
Yeah.
And you don't get your money when you trade it back in. So like, I'm not paying $1,000 for the phone. I pay $500.
Oh.
But if I don't trade in within a year, I lose that extra $500
Oh.
because you're
So
still
it's forcing you to buy.
so you're because you're still paying for that early trade in.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't trade it in, well, now you're just paying money to pay money, and they're banking on you keeping your phone for
Mhm.
longer
Of course.
because you don't want to pay that extra money. So it's a scam. Like he's like, I just go buy my phone outright, and then I have control of everything. And then when I sell it, because when I trade it back in, I don't get the $1,000 for it. I only get the $500
Right.
that I paid. But I've paid all this extra money, but I don't get it. I don't get.
You don't get any of that back.
That's like, oh no, that's ours. That's what we get for having your service.
You know, flip phones.
Flip phones.
Flip phones.
Yeah.
You can change the battery, you know?
Yep.
You know, you just go to Radio Shack and grab a battery.
I miss Radio Shack.
Oh, I miss Radio Shack.
Yep.
I bought the most badass RC car there.
They used to have everything. Remember the
45
Radio Shack
miles an hour.
commercials? Christmas time.
Oh, those
You
are
know?
awesome commercials.
Man, I want a radio car.
I'm getting a little chub thinking about this.
Yeah. Hey, chub away. You know, but
Radio Shack and Toys R Us are my
Toys-
two favorite
Yes.
holiday time commercials.
yes, why bring back? My wife and I are big kids. We have Nerf guns everywhere in the house, just hanging up. We have storage for them. We get in Nerf gun fights at the dinner table. Seriously, it's a thing. I'm gonna record this one day. Like my kids come to the dinner table with Nerf guns in their back pockets because they know at some point somebody's pulling a Nerf gun out and they're popping somebody with it. And it's a thing, you know. It's horrible when you get on Amazon. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck these kids up today. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this full automatic Nerf gun. It's horrible, you know. That's but hey, that's what we do.
Dude,
That
that's
sounds-
family bonding.
Yeah.
That
That's
sounds
exactly
like
what
me and my
that is.
nephew.
Yeah.
That's why I have a pile of them right out there.
Exactly. I just got from what was that place? I don't know, the A to Z place, Amazon, just the other day. 2,000 little things of Nerf bullets came to my doorstep, and I took 1,500 of them for myself.
Attaboy.
Whoever's got
kids
whoever's got the ammo's got the power.
got the power. Exactly.
We used to do the airsoft ones
Ooh.
with me and my son
Ooh.
all the time.
See.
And those, like, if you hit wrong,
Yeah.
it stung.
Oh yeah.
Like he got me right behind the ear one day. I popped him right in the middle of the forehead, and I was like, maybe we shouldn't do this, but we couldn't stop. We just, it hurt for a little bit, and then we laughed it off, and 10 minutes later, we're shooting again.
And they were wearing all their safety gear, eye protection, and all that stuff at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about safety. You know that.
Safety. Yellow vest and everything.
Man, we grew up in the 80s.
Hard hats.
Hard hats and stuff.
Let's be honest. Think about the times we grew up in.
Oh, yeah.
Safety to us is a little spit on the bloody knee and some dirt.
Oh, dude.
Off we go.
How many times did you guys ride in the back of a pickup truck down the highway?
Yeah, holding stuff.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like we would have our whole little league baseball team
in the
back of a pickup truck
on the highway.
Yeah. Driving 45 minutes to go play a game.
Yeah, and goofing off.
Yeah, goofing off in the back. Yeah, your parents open up the little slide and go, "Hey, sit your butts down back there."
Yep.
Yeah, all the time. Mm-hmm. Nobody fell off.
Anything of it.
Didn't think anything of it. That was fun time. Wind smacking in the face.
Yeah.
It was fun time. Nowadays, no, you better not.
No. Well,
kids are not built like they used to be back in the day.
Well, and let's be honest. If I had kids, I wouldn't let them ride in the back of the truck today either.
I've
seen too much.
We were smarter back then. That's what it was.
That's true.
We had more common sense.
Yeah,
not to stand up in a moving vehicle.
That's true. My kids, you guys know I have a lifter truck. It's a pretty cool truck. I think so. Like a little Tonka toy.
Yeah.
My kids love being in the back of that thing. Like, especially when we go go see the lights at Christmas time or, something like that. I brought like a blow up couch to go back there when we go to drive-in and everything else. But my kids know not to stand the hell up doing a moving car, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I taught them a little common sense. Because I only have a little bit myself, so.
Think about this. And this is something I saw on the Joe Rogan podcast. Common sense, right? Yeah. Think about the average, like, IQ, right? So that's 50%, right? 50% are above average.
All right.
50% are below. Think about that. And then you got the geniuses, right? Who are super, super smart. Mm-hmm. So who's wrecking the average to keep it down as low as it is?
Somebody's got to bring up the rear. Somebody's got to bring the rear up.
That's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought.
And think about how many people are on the road driving.
Yeah.
We see it every day.
Yeah.
Podcasters.
Well,
ruining everything.
Like, I don't know how many times I've made the joke of like the places where we run the most car crashes. You're going straight on the highway. Like it's not a curve. It's not an intersection. They are legitimately going. Everybody's going the same direction straight. Mm-hmm. And they crash into each other.
Well, I think that's where your speed starts coming in, where you have people who drive way too fast. Mm-hmm. But then on the other end, it's the ones we don't talk about are the ones that get on the highway where it's a 65 mile an hour or 70.
You go 30.
And they're doing 35 or 40.
Yeah.
The minimum's 40. I don't give a shit, man. Yeah. You're going 40 in the middle or left lane.
Yeah.
You're the reason this wreck happened.
Thank you for bringing that up. What is up with nowadays driving in a left-hand lane?
I don't know. It drives me nuts.
It drives me bonkers. I can't pass.
It is illegal.
It is illegal. I got a ticket for that. I had no idea that was a thing. I must have skipped over that in the driver manual. Yep. But when I got after that, I said, get out the left lane. Why are we in the left lane? Yep. And we're driving 48 miles an hour in the left lane. You're holding up on this track. And then I can't get over it. Everybody wants to drive the same speed in a line down the highway now. I'm sorry. Thank you for bringing that up. I just had to get that off my chest.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves with driving.
Yeah.
Get out of the left lane.
Please.
Passing lane.
And
if you're on a 2-lane highway and you're going to pass somebody, fucking pass them.
Pass them.
Drop the hammer down.
Yeah. Yeah, don't cruise by them like a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You back off. It's real easy. You back off a little bit, drop the hammer, and boom, get around them.
Get after it.
Because the 5 people behind you want to get around them too, and I don't like having to pass 7 cars, but I will because you pissed me off.
Yeah.
That's a safety issue.
No. Hey, man, I gave you ample opportunity to pass that person. Just because you want to be on a Sunday stroll doesn't mean the people behind you do.
Yeah.
Back off. Don't ride that 18-wheeler's ass on a 2-lane highway.
I'm not going to go 95 and a 65, though, but I just want to get to point A to point B in a timely fashion.
But when the speed limit's 55 and you're doing 45, I got a problem with you.
And it always happens when you have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
It always, for me, it's always when I have to use the bathroom. I feel like like Pops on Friday. Come on, y'all, help me, please. Come on, somebody move, help me, please. You know,
Mr. Officer, let me in.
Let me in. You know.
All right, let's rein it back in.
My bad.
No, you're good, man. I want to touch on something that you brought up earlier about what has been your experience with mental health in the fire service specifically.
Man, so I got on not as young as a lot of people did, but about mid-age, or whatever I would say. I grew up, somewhat in the inner city. Then we moved out to suburbs or whatever. So by the time I got old enough to really kind of keep things in my mental or whatever, I'm in middle school, high school at this point. I haven't seen a whole lot or whatever. Mental health in the fire service, I didn't know anything about coming into the fire service. I didn't know what firefighters saw. I saw guys on a cool fire truck. These guys look cool and they help people and they look good doing it. I want to do that. But I didn't know the backstory of a lot of stuff, and I remember my very first call. I'm not going to go into it, but I saw a deceased body and it shocked me. It's one of those things you don't forget. And I harbored a lot of that stuff for years and years and years. I didn't know how to process that type of stuff. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know if I should talk to somebody. I didn't know if that was the right thing to do. And as I gotten older in the fire service, I've realized you have to talk that shit out. You've got to talk to somebody. You got to find somebody, you call a friend, and you have to sit there and you have to get that shit out. You can't hold on to that type of stuff because it eats at you. And it did for years for me. Just not with that call, but other calls, that we've ran and everything else. It just eats at you. Mental health in the fire service, I think, in any service that has to deal with, the strain and stresses of another human being or something, the mental health side of that stuff, I feel like now it's getting more traction, which is great, and it could be more. Yeah. I think more discussions like these type of discussions with mental health need to happen more often, especially in the fire service, military, police, doctors, nurses, those type of people. Because a lot of people they subconsciously, if we're talking like, oh yeah, I know I can come talk to you when I get home. Can I really talk to this person? Are they really going to listen? Are they really going to understand where I'm actually coming from with this? So, the more exposure that type of stuff gets, the more traction it gets, the better I think people will feel about opening up and talking. I think a lot of people, I know I was raised, my dad, was a stern person. Not stern like where it was like, oh no, don't hit me. But it was like a stern thing of like, you're a man, and you fall down, scrape your knee, get your butt up. It's okay. You're breathing, right? Go. You don't talk about your feelings. You don't talk about your emotions. You don't cry. You don't do any of that type of stuff. You're a man, And yeah, that pays dividends later on, in some areas of my life. But when it hit the mental health side of everything, when I got on the fire service, that stuff ate me up because I didn't know how to release that energy. Like, it's almost like you're sleepy, but you can never go to sleep or get good night's rest because you're always thinking about this stuff. Your brain never shuts off. I started exhibiting that in my sleepwalking, sleep talking, yelling out, coat sweats, lashing out at my family, started drinking, all these type of things started to happen to me. And thank God I have the wife I have because she noticed it. She noticed that type of stuff and said, hey, babe, we got to get you some help. Something is going on where it is fucking you up. And I know that you're a proud man, you're a strong man, but you have got to talk. If you don't want to talk to me, we could find somebody. But this is not the road to go down. And I had to really come to terms with myself with that and really take the ego out of it and really say, you know what, I do need help. And I was resistant to it at first. No way. And I was raised this way. It's okay. It'll go away. It'll go away. Shit doesn't go away. All you do is suppress it for a minute. And it comes back. And it comes back at the most inopportune time it comes. You could be having a great year and it just one trigger, will set everything off just like that. So, mental health with the fire services is paramount in any service that we service people, other humans, stressful situations, stressful jobs. It's paramount. And it has to happen, and more conversations like these need to happen. There's a lot of people out there that are like me who was in my shoes now, that they don't know who to talk to, what to talk about, how to process, how to even begin to start the conversation. When I first started talking to my therapist, all I did was sit there for 3 sessions. I didn't say a word. My mind wanted to talk. My mouth wouldn't move, And I had to think about that for a second. I wanted to talk so bad. I didn't know about what and how. I didn't know. When I started talking, it was the weirdest thing. Just tears just started flowing because I felt such a great relief as I was talking, where all the stress and burden of things that I couldn't control that was out of my hands were being lifted off of me, and it felt amazing. And I started talking more. I started journaling, and it helped my marriage out tremendously. I was able to, say, okay, I could talk to my wife about some things. I don't talk to her about everything because I try to leave work as work. I don't like bringing work home too often, unless we run a really cool fire or something like that, But other than that, I don't like to bring work home because I don't want to burden her with the same shit that I was carrying.
Well, there's such a thing as secondary trauma.
It is.
And that's something that in the first responder realm, we have to be very, very careful of, because if you go home and you just tell your spouse everything of all of the gory details of, what we do.
Yeah.
That's going to fuck them up too.
It is.
Now you have to tell them something because it's like my wife says, it's like a game of Mad Libs. Like if something's going on, like they're going to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And it might not be accurate.
Right. Right.
So there's a balance there that you have to find. Just like the balance of, we were talking about it yesterday with that kid that's going through fire school.
Oh yeah.
Of you're going to run a bad call and then you're going to run a call right after that. So you have to find a way to be able to do that. So we have to do some sort of compartmentalization.
Right.
The problem is what we've done for years is we just take it and stuff it.
That's it.
And we don't ever take it back out and deal with it and talk about it. And that's why changing the culture is so important of whenever you do have that downtime, talk about it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Sit around the kitchen table with the rest of your crew and have that conversation, and if you're just sitting there and it's nothing but dark humor,
right,
you're not talking about it.
Right.
You're not really processing anything.
You're still compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to empty that cup out.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. Speaking of the table, the kitchen table, have you noticed over the last, let's say 10 years again, like that kitchen table is more and more starting to be obsolete than before?
Yeah, I've noticed it in some stations more than others, and it kind of just depends on, I think it's a generational thing too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard. I don't know the proper way to bring it back.
Yeah.
But I have noticed it's gone away, but now I've noticed it coming back to the way that it kind of should be.
Right.
And
and I think part of that is right in the fire service in general. Like you have what's called a shack. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure it's called other things in other places. But where we all cook together and then we all sit down together and eat, right? Well, what I have noticed is you've got more people that are doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that, or they bring their own food because they're on a diet or they're on this or that or the other thing. And so you don't have the whole station sitting down together to eat. Right. And then it's always been one of those things of, well, the ambulance might catch a call or the pumper might catch a call or the truck might catch a call. Like that is what it is.
Right.
And that you're going to have that. That's never going away. Right. But the fact that at some stations, and I see it a lot, where you'll have 5 people sit down and eat together, but then the other 4 don't even come down.
Yeah.
Like, that's an issue.
It is.
Because that kitchen table around at the fire station is, like we joke about it, you solve the world's problems there.
Yeah.
But it is such a team building and camaraderie building. It's where you can sit and have those conversations over a meal, or just, sitting there drinking coffee in the mornings.
Yeah. There is no rank there.
Yeah.
Which is the greatest thing, is you can be, firefighter, whomever at that table, and a lot of times I felt like when I first got on, a lot of the processing with some of the stuff that us guys used to see was talked about at that table, and you don't get that anymore a lot of times, and or it's hit and miss at this station or not this station or whatever. Like I agree, 100% agree. That has to come back. That's one of those essential parts of the job that is beneficial, especially the young guys coming on. It's teaching them, hey, this right here, once you get it from this table here, all your problems should be solved. Your woes should be right.
Yeah. I'll say that with a caveat.
Yeah.
You get some of the best advice around the kitchen table. You also get some of the worst
advice. Yeah.
But, you say there's no rank in cook shack, and you're right. There's not. But you as a leader can learn a lot about your crew and the people that are under your command.
There you go.
Just by listening and picking up on those little things, and then helping them overcome it, because you've got more time on. You've seen more. You've been around more. You have more wisdom. And you can pass that on, and now you're setting them up for success just by eating fucking lunch. That's it. That's simple.
One of the easiest parts of your day.
So I sent you guys both a text. Did you read it? Did you look at it?
I looked at it. I didn't read it, but
it's something I definitely want you to look at, Ray.
For sure.
It's called Path Goal Theory. And ever since I read it about a year ago, I fucking loved it. And it was used on me. I didn't know it was used on me. and when I read it, I called the guy and I motherfucked him. And he was like, "What'd I do?" And I told him, I just said Path Goal Theory. He's like, you caught it, huh? I was like, yeah, now that I know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's all about, setting your people up for success in the proper way by achievement and what's your goal? Where do you want to go?
Right.
Okay, how do we get there? And you're leading them, but they're leading themselves. You're teaching them how to be that leader, and it's perfect for the fire service.
It is.
Why don't you go ahead and read it?
Nope. I want people to go look this one up, because you're going to take away from it what you read it, how you read it.
Okay.
From what I take away is going to be different from what you and what Ray does. And whoever's listening, whatever they take away from it. And I think it's the best leadership theory out there right now. That's my opinion.
The very first sentence that I read on that just a second ago says, Path Goal Theory is the belief that managers can affect their team's performance by adapting their leadership style to fit the specific needs of their teams. That is what a leader is having many different hats and putting those hats on at the appropriate time to fit the greater goal of what the mission is.
So, yeah, that's a good one. And you look at it, if you are a sports person, the best analogy of that is, let's say, football. You have a quarterback who is a pocket passer.
Right.
What are you going to do? You're going to run your offense around him pocket passing. If you've got a scrambler, what are you going to do? You're going to you're going to set that guy up for success, because that's how your team wins.
Right.
You don't take, Mr. Scrambler and no, we're only going to pocket pass.
Yeah.
And you don't take the pocket passer and go, all right, so we're going to roll you out and we want you to run for 20 yards here.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's not going to be successful in that system.
Yeah, he's not. And that's a great analogy. You have to know what you're working with as a manager, as a leader. You have to know the strengths. I need to know the strengths of what you have. The strengths of what you have. And I'm going to let you know my strengths as well. We can all work together for the common goal, because now where you lack at, I'm going to pick up at. Where he lacks up, he's going to pick up at. And that's teamwork. That's that's a big word. I'm trying
Camaraderie.
to use. Thank you. Hooked on phonics did not work for me. I'll tell you that much. God damn it. I'm sorry. I tried. Listen, I had a talk with myself on the way out here. We're gonna be good, Ray. We're gonna.
He's looking in the rearview mirror, driving 70 miles an hour.
Exactly. While you're in the left lane, we're gonna be good. I promise.
Holy shit.
Why is everybody honking?
Oh,
sorry. But yeah, I mean, that is the epitome of a leader, you know. And it seems like, look at all the great leaders of past times. What do? They looked at everybody's strengths and weaknesses of what they had, and they complimented each other for the greater goal, for the goal of the greater good.
And they inspire.
And they inspired. You know, I can tell you everything you've done wrong from the time you walked in the door, right? It's gonna make you feel like shit. But if I switch that up and say, hey, you know, Chris, when you walk in the door, the first thing I noticed was those shoes. I like those shoes, man. You know, hey, thank you. You know, next time though, I would tie them a different way because I see you have a problem with, you know, your shoes coming untied. I would just try this way first and see what that works because I like those shoes a lot. I don't want those to get messed up. Man, yay, thank you. You're gonna receive that better than me being like, hey, man, do you know how to fucking tie your shoes?
No, that's why I stay tight all the time.
You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be received differently, and Chris, as being the receiver of that, he's gonna poke his chest out a little bit.
See, now you're getting into the sender receiver communication.
You know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes back to like what you're talking about with a text message and how there's the tone.
Yeah.
It's not always what you say.
It's how you say it.
It's how you say it. And if you change up how you say it just a little bit, you go from vinegar to honey.
That's it. Yeah.
And you attract what you want, and you're going to get what you want out of the people you're leading. It's also going to make you a better leader and a better follower. Because to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower first.
Yeah.
I learned some shit.
Hey, he's dropping dimes on us.
Yeah, knowledge.
Just not message.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
I have my moments.
He did have a lot of coffee today.
I see.
Because he did come fired up. I like it, man.
I love it. I love the energy. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, but
he's switching.
Still got the tick. I think I need to run around the block.
Whoa, easy there. You will pull a hammy.
Oh man,
I don't have hammies.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, you guys are hilarious. I swear.
I know you missed me, that Ray.
Like, I mean, that's why I say, are you coming back? You know, that'd be awesome. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we can talk about that once the camera goes off.
Yeah.
Well, my wife was like, "Do you really want to drive 45 minutes?" Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because it's not about where you work. It's about who you work with.
Let me tell you something.
The dynamic of that station and those people and how you get along.
Yeah.
And how, again, and
it makes you want to come to work.
It does.
Yeah.
But it goes back into sender receiver. Because the people you're around, because sometimes you don't send that message right, but they receive it right because they know you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you only get to know somebody by doing what?
Eating dinner. I like food.
You know, breaking bread.
I love food.
You know?
So good.
Now you guys are making me feel bad. If that was your goal, then mission accomplished.
I don't know if I know you, Jeremy.
You got to come out of your office, man.
Speaking of 45 minutes,
that's another issue I have right now.
Oh, yeah. Sitting in offices and rooms and stuff.
Yep.
Isolation.
Yep. Come in, put your stuff on the rig, and go to your room. I
would never see it. Yeah.
Come on, talk to people. If you don't drink coffee, that's cool, man. I don't care about the coffee.
All right. Want ice cold water?
Yeah. How you doing? What's going on at home?
Yeah.
How you feeling today?
How the kids doing?
You got anything you got to do today? I know we had Mark Little on here a while back, and I've definitely, he helped me kind of drift. Not kind of. He helped me drift that proper way, in my opinion. Now I've changed my opinion of that servant leadership. You know what I mean? And
Somebody bookmark that.
Yeah.
so, but I never understood. I never really knew. I didn't have a term for it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, and I've read about it a little bit, but it's kind of like, you gloss over it.
Yeah.
And then, for whatever reason, when he said it, it resonated. And so then I kind of did a dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that path goal theory lines right up with being a servant leader.
Mm-hmm.
And allowing you, even being a servant leader, you have that opportunity to change your leadership style to what it needs to be to fit
Right.
what you're doing. And that's, to me, that's kind of the way it needs to be.
And as a leader,
You're a
you gotta be humble as well as a leader.
Yeah.
You gotta be humble.
Admit your failures,
Exactly.
because you're gonna fail.
That's going to happen, but a lot of people in leadership positions, I like to use the analogy, they get the big head and they think they know everything, and you don't know everything. You have to put those egos to the side and be like, you know what? Thank you for that. Because I don't know everything. I've never seen that before, but apparently you have.
Yeah, teach me.
Teach me. I want to know. That doesn't make you less of a leader for doing that. Like, it doesn't. That makes you even a better leader, because now you're willing to sit there and talk to one of your employees, or, your coworker, your firefighter, whatever you want to call it, and pick their brain. And again, that's the whole thing of team. Say that word again.
Camaraderie.
Thank you. I'm just gonna start pointing at him when I use that word. Just
I'll forget.
Cohesion.
Cohesion. This.
Yeah, this is. But that helps that further become a stronger bond. Everybody knows in the fire service. I mean, your best days are with the best crew. Is when everybody's getting along, everybody's on the same page with things. And the best days ever.
Do you remember the last car wreck that you and I ran together before I got moved out of the floater spot?
I believe I do. Yeah.
We actually talked about it yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was on the truck.
Yeah.
And you guys were phenomenal.
Yeah.
But because of the situation we had, we had to kind of switch up some roles.
Right.
And you guys did your thing. I kind of slid into a medic role.
Yeah.
And was helping the person inside the car,
Yeah.
but keep my eye on you guys.
Right.
And that's all about the camaraderie and getting to know each other and the strengths everybody has. Because I'm not strong on the truck.
Right.
I know it because I've never been assigned to one. I can do it. It just takes me longer.
Right.
You guys were strong, and I'm stronger in this role.
Right.
But where I'm, then you position yourself to where you can look at both.
Right.
And folk, I can still watch, and you guys are being safe.
Yeah.
I can still see what's going on here and help this kid and tell him what needs to be done before we get this person out. And that's all about building that camaraderie in the station and knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses, and then adapting really quick because you've become such a cohesive unit.
Yeah. And it's easy to pivot at that point.
Yeah.
It's real easy to pivot. Everybody knows in fire service, you have a plan. Everybody got a plan to get hit in the face, right?
Mike Tyson.
Yep. Yes.
Sorry. Be good, Ray.
Hey, man, when Mike Tyson busting this door,
I'm running.
You're Alan from Hangover.
I'm running.
He hit him so hard.
So hard.
Still got it.
Oh, no. Damn it.
Got him.
That's why I was having a talk with myself. Be good, Ray. Be good.
Man, just let it out.
I know. I try to.
You learn more and you teach more when you're you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's when you're authentic. That's because that's the other part where I go to is I was told, I didn't even know about it. Authentic leadership. So just lead by being yourself.
That's it.
So for me, it's the authentic servant leadership through the path goal theory, and that's what I have found that works the best because you're able to change and everybody gets the real you all the time.
I like that. And I mean that's how it should be though in everyday life though. Boom. Message.
Somebody better write that down.
Oh,
but seriously, that's how it should be in everyday life. You should give the authentic you.
Should
that's one thing. You can say a lot of different things about me, and you can go around places we live and, we work and all that good stuff. And you can ask everybody, who is Ray? They're going to give you the same exact answer everywhere you go. You know why? I'm the same. I'm the same from when I first got on the job, when I am now. I'm the same from when I was in high school to now. Now, some of my ways have changed from, getting older, being more mature and everything else.
Well, yeah, you grow as you...
Yeah, but the principles are still the same. I'm still the same guy. I come in, morning fuckers, everybody get a fist bump,
Yep.
Remember we went through that. Remember one time we had words one time. I came in the very next shift. Hey, what's up, Dad?
Yep.
Are we good? Yeah. I don't hold grudges. For what? Why? It's too much energy to be holding grudges. It's too much energy to be somebody else and to be something that you're not. Be you.
Yeah.
I like everybody to be happy. I'm gonna make a joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want everybody to smile.
I 100% overreacted on that.
There's a shocker. Jeremy overreacted on something.
So, and here's the thing. I was going to say that earlier, I made a lot of mistakes whenever I first got promoted. And I felt like I was constantly apologizing for people or to people for me.
Right.
It's like, but I was still trying to figure out that, okay, I want to be the guy that, plays those games and has that fun around the station. But at the same time, it's like,
get that line.
I have a line that, okay, I'm supposed to be in a leadership role. And is this really appropriate for me to do now?
Right.
And if I take it too far, then, my rank and this, and I'm like, I just can't.
Right.
And it was, and we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain myself the best that I could.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and I get it. The great thing about that is that when we was talking, I saw the sincerity, and I was like, oh, he's not blowing smoke. This guy, he's really trying to figure things out, in the role in which he's in now. That's all he can do. Somebody apologize.
There's so many styles for leadership, and not one is going to be the best all times. There's times you have to have that iron fist or the autocratic, right?
Yeah.
Do as I say.
Yeah.
Well, especially in this career field, because if everything is up for debate and you say, hey, we need to get out of this house because it's falling down,
you might not make a home.
Yeah. Because they might want to debate you. Yeah. Oh, well, I think we're getting it.
Right.
No, we're not.
Right. You're about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there are those times where you need that democratic style.
Right.
And or the laissez-faire, and it just depends on the situation. And that's where really understanding what leadership is and how to use those different styles to your advantage, or being a servant leader where you encompass all of them.
Well, and sometimes you might go through all of those leaderships in one shift,
in one call.
It just, you have to be open to those options, and that's another quality of a great leader, being open to different options. That plays into pivoting, that plays into knowing strengths and weaknesses. I mean, you got to be able, that goes into having a man of many hats, being a man of many hats. You got to be able to put this mask on when need be, put this mask on when need be. It's more, you're in a leadership position. It's more responsibility. If you didn't want it, you shouldn't have signed up.
Exactly.
You took the tests, so now you are going to wear those hats.
Exactly.
And you got to know when to change them, how to change them, and how to talk to people, how to read that person.
Right.
And where your weaknesses are, so that way you can be better.
Yeah.
The first step in leadership is admitting that you have weaknesses.
There you go.
Period. Because you cannot do better if you cannot fix yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a common problem in the fire service is people do take that test to become that captain or lieutenant or whatever, and they've done it for the paycheck or the pension or the position or whatever, and not necessarily thinking about, I have to be a leader in this position.
Right. Everything else gets clouded. Yeah. I got more money and I got rank now. You will listen to me. This is Spartan. You will listen. No, you don't have to be like that.
And that's why that guy got kicked in the chest.
Exactly.
Down endless pit.
Exactly. He's still falling to this day.
Oh, yeah.
We checked on him. He's still falling.
He's still yelling, too. "Ah, why haven't I died?"
Yeah, exactly. You know, who wants to be that guy? You know, grab a Snickers.
Yeah.
You know, like
You know, that's it, man. If they would have had Snickers bars back then,
here we go.
Xerxes wouldn't have been a dick.
I'm telling you, he wouldn't have thrush kicked him down that hole. You know. I'm sorry. Here we go. Be good, Ray.
Yeah.
Be good.
I like it. I love it, man. I love it. But no, that's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Is you take this job or you take this position of being a leader, you got to lead.
You do.
You know, and you have to, there's a lot of things that go into that. It is not just I am rank now, so hear me roar. You know, it is, okay. And this is kind of what I think about it, right? My job as a leader, if I have my own company or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to, the people that I am responsible for, path goal theory, right? Where do you want to be in 5 years? How do I get you to the point where you can replace me? Because eventually I have to retire.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this job forever.
Right. You can't.
I mean, with my income and modern science, you know, I might live. No, that ain't how this shit works, right?
No.
Like there's a finite time that we're going to be able to do this job.
Exactly.
So it is incumbent upon you to pass the knowledge that you've learned on. Because there's going to be a next generation and a next generation and a next generation.
Yeah.
Because this job is not going away.
No, it's not. I mean, there's always going to be a need for us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a wonderful thing if you really sit back and relish in that for a second, that you're in a position there where you're always needed. Somebody's always going to need us. Somebody's always going to need our services. Somebody's going to always yell out for help. And we're some of the ones that step up and answer those type of calls. That if you step back and look at the bigger picture of that's a lot to take in. I know it was a lot to take in when I first got on the job. Like that was I'm like, wow, I'm responsible. I literally have this person's hands in my life. That's a lot to take in, like on a call or something like that. Like, this is crazy. One wrong decision and we cannot be going home tonight. Like, that's a lot to process. So to step back and just look at the bigger picture of things and become a leader, even if you're not like a captain, a lieutenant or whatever, FAO or whatever, just be a leader in the position of a firefighter. You know, step up and be that leader of that company. Hey, let's go train. Let's go over stuff. You know, that right there, you know, that sets you up for later on.
100%.
You know?
And I think that's something that we have kind of fallen away from in the fire service is having that senior firefighter, that unofficial leader, that NCO. And we need to get that back somehow.
Yeah. It's a culture change.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just a culture change. Until somebody steps up and tries to make that difference, you know, it's going to continue to be a on one cycle. And like I said before, when we started talking, all these red asses, they're retiring. They're old farts now, you know?
Yep.
I mean, it's becoming a dying breed. It really is.
And there's a proper way to be a red ass too. Let's be honest.
There is.
And that, because it's a dying breed, you don't see it. People think they're like, oh, I'm just being a red ass. No, you're being an asshole. There's a big difference in how you accomplish those. And let's be honest, the new generations, they don't play into that.
No.
They're totally different than what we were, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're totally different than the ones before us, the ones before them, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
That's all right. We're still making it work.
Yeah.
But we need to adjust to help communicate with them, because we're sending our message, but they're not receiving it because we're speaking completely different languages. And we want to reach them, and we need to reach them. So we have to change what we're doing.
Basically getting on their level, right? Yeah.
And then bringing them up. You have to start. So just like in the military, when you go into basic, they break you down, bring you back up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we got to break them down, but we got to figure out how to get down there
to bring them up
and keep elevating them and elevating them to where they will be successful.
Yeah.
That's our job as the leaders now.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Man, I'm on today.
You are. He is on fire. Somebody get some water. That man's on fire. He is. Whew.
Yeah.
I'm old school on this.
Hey.
He's cooking today.
Oh, he's cooking. Let him cook.
Yep.
Let him cook.
What other knowledge you got for us?
Drop some gems on us.
It just comes.
It comes in waves.
Yeah. You just got to ride the wave, man.
I think it's the conversation we're having.
Yeah.
Is how he's feeding off of it.
Okay.
And so really, we're on fire today.
There it is. You know, I was feeling a little warm.
Yeah.
And I took a little sip of water a second ago. I was feeling a little warm. So that might, you're right. We are on fire.
Hey, man,
And
I'll be the gasoline. I'll be the TNT, whatever you need me to be.
Straight napalm, man.
no.
I said, nobody can put me out.
Oh.
I'm over here dropping nuclear bombs.
Gems of knowledge, man.
So what else you got for us, Ray?
Oh, man. I'm always doing something. I mean, I'm always doing something. It never stops. The businesses, right now, I'm just enjoying life right now. I don't know if it's like because I'm getting real close to 40, you guys let me know.
Shut your pop.
I don't know if but I've started to look at things a little bit differently again.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird. It go through these phases, right? 21, you're invincible. Well, let me back up. 16, you're invincible. Either you can lift the world, you either you can outrun everything, do everything, right? 21, I can outdrink everybody, I do whatever I want. 25, you start slowing down just a little bit, you're still clubbing a little bit or whatever. 30, something happens at 30. It's like some type of switch. 35, another switch. I'm getting close to 40, there's another switch. I mean, not only my bladder gets full quicker, but
he's been doing the pee-pee dance for like 10 minutes. I don't know if you've seen that.
Hit the pause button, let him go to the bathroom.
No, I just switched the camera. And
this just makes for great content.
It's like,
this makes for great
mind
content.
over matter, Ray.
That's it.
Mind over matter.
But I think really, at the phase that I'm in right now, I'm just enjoying life. I mean, it's wild, and like my mom always used to say, if you want to know your age, look at your kids. And good night, time flies. And I'm enjoying the space that I'm in right now. Mental health wise, just everything. Like it's like a breath of fresh air now, and I think I'm just in that phase of life right now where I'm just enjoying it right now. I'm still, doing my business things, which like, I don't think we have enough tape to list all the businesses and LLCs I have. But, I'm just enjoying the fact that I was able to come out of that deep, dark depression that I was in. I'm glad to the fact that, I'm able to be around good folks like yourselves, and have conversations, and be a part of something so great. I'm happy just to be on the fire service in general, doing the job that I'm doing that I love to do, that I fell in love with doing, So I think that's what's going on with me, and what's next with me is just enjoying life for right now. And I'm quite sure in the next year or so, I'll come up with another LLC or something. I don't know. Who knows? I'll write a book one day.
Well, you'll be taking that captain's test and getting promoted. That's what you're going to be doing.
That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. That is on the forefront. I'm really stoked about that.
It's coming up quick.
It is coming up quick. I cannot wait. I feel like I'm knocking it out of the park. I'm really confident this time.
Whatever help we can give you, whatever that's worth. Not much, but
sure it is.
More than happy to sit down with you and
absolutely
and help you talked about what we've learned since we've been in those roles, because it's different, man.
Yeah,
it's a lot different.
I keep hearing that from a lot of folks, and I'm excited for that. I'm as nervous as it may seem to be in the helm of a whole company or something like that. It's more so exciting than anything. It's like another chapter. It's like turning the page on something, and
it's just a new adventure.
It's it. That's it.
It's challenging yourself.
It is.
And then in turn of challenging yourself, you're getting to bring other people along with you.
Yeah.
And you're getting to see the growth and change and advancement of other people. Yeah. Which is what you're supposed to do as a leader.
It's like a circle. It's like a circle. It goes round and round.
Holy shit.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Be good, Ray. Be good.
Look at this idiot.
Oh, man. All right. Closing thoughts, Chris.
Hang on. I'm still picturing Rob Snyder
on my frame.
No, just him doing the circle thing over and over.
Yes, we get it to circle. I'll go home and watch that movie now.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah, that's going to be playing all day now. We've talked about many different things. Biggest one being the leadership and the influence you have. I would definitely say study up on it, read multiple books on it, really get familiar with it. One style is not going to fix everything. You have to be an expert in all fields when it comes to leadership and look at the different theories. I found what works for me and what I really like. And like I said, I've had success with it. But one thing I think you got to look at is the attitude of your crew. And going back to the movies, man, attitude reflects leadership. If you've got a crew with a bad attitude or a person with a bad attitude, I think the first thing you do is take a look at yourself and where you failed and see what you can do to fix it. And then you can really affect that change. Yeah. And definitely, talk to your people, find out what's going on. Just a simple conversation. Standing by the coffee machine and fixing your coffee, you can fix a lot. Yeah. You just don't know how to do that yet. You've been doing it for years. Yeah. So just keep plugging away. That's what you got to do. Keep trying to better yourself every day, one foot in front of the other. And when you stumble, that's all right. Because you got others that are going to help pick you up. Yeah. That's what we do in the fire service. Help each other. That's it. I love it.
Ray, closing thoughts?
Jesus, Nelson, you just,
Yeah, I know. I should have let you go first.
Ditto.
Yeah.
I had a good day, man. What can I say? I'm sorry. I truly apologize.
I was shedding a tear over here. I mean, that was some really you took the words right out of my mouth. You really did. I mean, that's what the fire service is all about, and just try to do better each day, do better than the last day. I mean, that's all I can really think of. The little part that Nelson didn't pick up on.
Leave it better than you found it.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's, I don't know if you've ever heard of the 24-hour clone principle, but
haven't.
So the theory is this. So you should try to improve yourself every day, right? So at, midnight or whatever, 24 hours, you're going to fight a clone of yourself. And the clone of yourself is going to be how you are right now. So you have 24 hours to improve in something so you can defeat that clone.
I like that.
So,
what books are you guys reading? I'm gonna need a copy.
I actually saw that on a podcast. I'm pretty sure it came out of a book. I just don't remember which book.
Yeah.
But I saw that on the Cleared Hot podcast. A guest that he had on there was talking about it.
Some deep stuff. I mean, this is some really good stuff, though. Like, seriously, I got
a whole library of books, man.
Well, guess what?
From school and things, because I'm big on, they're all about ebooks.
Yeah.
I fucking hate ebooks. I mean, I like them to an extent.
I don't want to look at my screen all the time.
But yeah, I don't like I want the book in my hand and I highlight shit.
Yeah.
And so I found a website that sells textbooks really cheap. Like, I bought some for $5, some were $50, and that was still cheap.
Yeah.
Compared to the $200-$300 they cost.
Absolutely.
Because the ebook's free with your class. But so I'm big on keeping the books. So I've got plenty.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing I need to start doing is reading more, just in general, just for pleasure, more than promotional or to, set up a business or whatever. I just want to read more, for leisure, need anything. Something that expands my mind outside of the day-to-day stuff.
So I got a good book for you to read right now. It's called Dark Horse.
Okay.
So I just started reading it. I'm like in the 3rd chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So I am kind of still reading with my textbooks, but this falls right into leadership and success.
Yeah.
So it's about going against the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So from a young age, we've all been conditioned to do things a certain way.
Right.
And that's how you find success. Stay on this path only. This is what's going to lead you to success, grinding away. And it's about people who have said, fuck that. I'm going to buck the system and I'm going to go find success doing it my way.
Mm-hmm.
So like one guy they talk about was he had bought a bar or worked at a bar and then bought a bar and then bought the building then the building next to him had a real estate company. And it was like, you know what? I'm just not happy.
Mm-hmm.
He sells it all, moves to New York and becomes a tailor. Has never been a tailor. Found out he's really good at it. It's all about your passion.
Mm-hmm.
He was passionate about something. So it's following your passion to success.
Yeah.
And now he's one of the best tailors in the world. I can't remember his name because I'm bad with names.
Mm-hmm.
But like he has like all the celebrities go to him, all the big A-listers when they need suits and dresses. And he won one of them, like the Waldorf Astoria, and the Ritz have contracts with them. So if you go stay there and you need a suit, they send you to that guy.
Wow.
One lady out of New Zealand was she discovered asteroid,
mm-hmm.
and I want to say a new planet if I remember when I read right. And it started because she dropped out of high school and then was working these jobs because she had a kid and all that. And her mom was like, get the fuck out of here. And one night her aunt and uncle gave her a pair of binoculars to look up at the stars. And she fell in love, built her own observatory.
Wow.
And never had a formal education, but is an expert in that field because of all the learning she did on her own.
Yeah. The passion.
So it's all about your passion.
Yeah.
It's so far. I mean, it's got me hooked.
Yeah.
It's a really good book. It's older, but
well, when you're done, we can make up a library card and
start checking out. Yeah,
I'll start checking them out. You know,
yeah.
I mean that really does sound.
I paid
good,
$5 for that book.
Really? Well, don't be stingy. Show me the website.
I got you.
All right.
All right, Jeremy, you're up. Try and top those.
I'm not even gonna try. I know my role. Okay.
All right. Speech time.
Ray, thanks for coming on, man. This was a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Thank you
a lot. You're gonna have to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would be ecstatic to come back. This is fun.
Yeah. This was a blast.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've laughed this hard in a while. Jeez. Chris, thanks for coming prepared, man. Like,
dude, I wasn't
appreciate it.
prepared. That's all.
Improv king.
Anyway, thank you.
I just do what I do, man.
All right, everybody. Look, if you are struggling, reach out. There are resources out there. If you know somebody that's struggling, reach out. Let them know what resources are in your area. If you don't know what resources are around, shoot us an email. If we don't know, we will find out and we'll get back to you. So, look, take care of yourselves and we'll see you next time.